So today we are going to work with percents, fractions, and decimals. So the first thing that we want to look at is being able to take a grid like this and make a percent from that grid. So in other words, you want to look at the shaded area here and see what percent is that. In this case, with all of these grids, they happen to be out of 100, and we already know that percent is out of 100, or 100 possible percent. So you are looking at this grid to see how much is it. So what is my grid? I can count across here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I also have 10 going up the side here. So there are 100 squares in my grid. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 by 10 right here is 80 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 84 squares shaded out of my 100. So that is 84%. Okay, so if I go on to the next one, this is the same type of grid, so it's still 10 by 10. So I have right here 4 squares shaded, or 4 rows shaded, so that's 40, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that gives me 47 shaded squares, which would be 47%. In this case, they're scattered, so we're going to have to just count individually. So here I have 2 at a time. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 right there. So I'm going to start a tally here. I have 2 right here. I have 6 right here. Extra 1 right there. I could have added that on with my 2 over here, so I'm just going to make this a 3 instead of a 2. And then down at the bottom right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3. So 5 by 3 will give me 15 there. So I'm just going to add that up. So 18. So I have 38 squares that are shaded here. So that gives me 38%. All right, so then the next thing that we want to look at is shading the amount that's given. So right here it's saying shade in 45%. That means I need to shade in 45 squares out of the 100 that I have. So I'm going to shade down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 here is going to give me 40. So that's this much right here. And then I need an extra 5 for my 45. Okay. Then this next one, it's over 100%. 100 squares is 100%, so I need to shade in this whole entire grid because that's 100%, plus I need 38%. So that's going to be 30 right here, plus another 8 right along here. So all totaled here, I have 138%. All right, so I added a little question down here. What happens if my grid's not at 100 squares? How do I get a percentage if I don't have 100 squares? Well, that's a great question. However, that's something we're going to do tomorrow in tomorrow's lesson. So I want you to think about that for tomorrow, and then tomorrow we're going to answer what happens when you don't have 100 squares in your grid. The next thing that we want to look at is to write each percent as a fraction. So again, you're going to put each percent over 100 because percent is out of 100. Do not forget to simplify. Everything needs to be simplified. So 35% is going to be 35 out of 100. And then you do need to simplify that. So you need to show that you are going to divide each one of these numbers by 5. And that will give me 7/20 as my answer. Number 7, 28%, going to be out of 100. And again, I'm going to divide each of these numbers. It's divisible by 4. So that's going to give me 7/25. And then number 8, 115%, Remember that 100 is a whole grid, so we are going to have more than one in this case. But I'm going to take my whole 115% and put it out of 100. So when I do that, that means I have more than one. So when I do that division, because I'm going to change this now into a mixed number, 100 goes into 115 one time with 15 out of 100 left over. Again, I still need to simplify this because I can divide both my numerator and denominator by 5. So that gives me my whole number of 1 and 3/20. All right, on the back, we're going to take each fraction and make it back into a percent. So we're going to take these fractions and change it back into the percent. So in other words, we're going to go backwards from what we just did. So instead of having my percent and putting it out of 100 and simplifying it, I'm going to take this fraction and put it back into the percent.